Okay, so looks like it's mostly cleared out actually, where we are anyways. And the news that we got is that they've set up a parking lot with some facilities at Tanger Med Port. All right, guys. So I want to give you guys an update, and I want to first of all thank all of you for your concern. It is a pretty interesting situation here, I should say. I wouldn't say that it's worse than anywhere else in the world, just because we do have a few things going for us. Number one, the Moroccan government has been extremely awesome. There's lots of police here making sure everybody's safe. They're allowing us to stay here for the time being, and all the Moroccan people have been really helpful. There's even a guy down there who lowered a hose from the top of the hill, and when he sees somebody coming by with a jug, he just turns it on and you can fill up your water here. So we can actually get water, assuming that guy's up there turning the hose on and off when you go by. And we did hear some news. So as of yesterday, what we were here waiting for is for the various embassies that are working together, the various consulates and embassies in Morocco from European countries. So we're in direct contact with the Croatian embassy, as we mentioned in the last video, and our friends that are from the UK, and then we have some friends that are from Germany, have been working with their embassies as well. And then we've been tweeting, we've been uploading videos, we've been posting on Facebook, we've been posting on Instagram about stuff that's happening here. So it is getting a lot of attention, and I appreciate all of you guys for trying to get attention on the situation. But unfortunately, this is not a unique crisis in the world right now. As you guys know, this crisis is worldwide. So most people, and the only reason why this is a problem here is because the city of Ceuta is also experiencing their own crisis, and they're trying to mitigate whatever problems they have. So this is to not downplay the situation anywhere else. Obviously, in fact, I think Spain is experiencing, just in general, a really serious problem with the numbers rising. Probably one of the hottest spots right now for the infection and the outbreak. And one of the things we learned, which was really frustrating to hear this, when we started to look at reports of people saying why Spanish government closed the border, and it's actually two different conflicting reports. One says that the city of Ceuta didn't close it, but the federal government did, which we said in the last video. But then I heard a conflicting story about how the mayor of Ceuta is actually the one who's making the call to not open. So we don't know exactly which one it is, but either way, what we do know to a certain degree is that one of the main reasons why they stopped letting people across is that people that did get across, once they got off the ferry, they were congregating and they were loitering in parking lots. They're going into grocery stores and they were interacting with people. They weren't following the isolation rules, which is really frustrating because they got across and all they had to do is follow the rule of the country that they're in, like we are here. We are here legally. We got our exception transit permit to get here. And while we're here, we're staying within our vehicle. And when we do go outside, we cover ourselves. And we only go outside when we have to. But the fact that the people that got across started treating everything like it's just normal and really got the locals in Spain angry. So it's not just the Spanish government at fault. It's all the people that ended up over there and started to disrespect the rule of law and the order that's people are trying to do to keep the crisis down. So we have to blame everybody that's involved in that as well. So as much as you can, and do even better than that, listen to what the professionals are saying. Listen to what the authorities are saying. Stay inside, go home, and stay home. We would do that if we could. But we're in this situation now because people weren't doing that. But for us, we're, again, as usual, we're comfortable in the van. It's cooped up in here. For example, when there were a lot of people here, there were a lot of people walking by, and we're trying to not interact with them. So, we don't go outside. But by not going outside, you do feel like the walls start to kind of close in on you. But what we did here last night and yesterday, talking to the Croatian consulate or Croatian embassy and our friends who are in communications with the German embassy, they said that there was going to be an EU ambassador meeting this morning at 9 o'clock, which already happened, and we were going to hear something from that. And what they were trying to do is they were trying to push the Spanish government to open this border so we can cross. The result of that meeting was the conclusion that Spain was not going to budge. So this border, as far as we know, is not going to open for the foreseeable future. I think when they closed it on Sunday night, 3 days ago, they had said, well, we had heard rumors that it was going to be for a week. We've also heard other reports that it was indefinite. And we also heard another rumor that it was for 2 weeks or 1 month. So we don't really know. But the choices we have now is to stay here or to go to Tanger Med, which is the Moroccan port. Because Ceuta right here is the Spanish city and the port is run by Spain. Tanger Med, which is only about 12 miles away, it's a Moroccan port. And the Moroccans have been extremely helpful. In fact, the ambassadors from European Union in Morocco worked with the Moroccan people, the Moroccan government. They actually opened up a big parking area at the port, and they provided running water, some toilets. We don't know exactly how many, and they say even showers, but we don't really know. But we don't really care about showers at this moment. Really, all we want to be able to do is have enough water, be able to empty our toilets when we need to, and be able to have access to food when we run out. We're still good for probably another 5 to 7 days in here. And obviously, we have stuff stashed away everywhere. So even when it comes down to the end, we can probably pull out like a random package of pasta or something, so we can probably even last longer if we want. So really, we just have to have the essentials. So our choices are to either stay here or go to Tanger Med. A lot of people actually left. I would say about 200 camper vans left here to go to Tanger Med. Now, what we don't know about Tanger Med and what we've heard, and this is also mostly just hearsay, is once you enter that parking lot in Tanger Med, you're not allowed to leave. So you can't drive to the store to get food, and there's no place really close that you can walk to get food. I don't know what kind of infrastructure they have set up for food. Here, at least, there's a city, there's a town not too far from here, and there's actually shops within relatively good walking distance from here. We can go and get food if we need to. So that's one thing plus that we have here. And secondly, here is if we choose to go find an alternative place to stay, like a campground that's still accepting campers, for example, that's not Tanger Med, maybe a campground south of here, or a campground, or if we want to drive, to a place even further south, the government, the police will allow us to transit to another safe place. Since a couple hundred camper vans have left, that feels like there's less chance of an outbreak, less chance of an infection coming on, because there's less people gathering around, there's less interactions with people, less people walking by. Over in Tanger Med, we saw a picture. It's a pretty big parking lot, but people are kind of parked in a grid right next to each other and in front of each other. So we don't know, how safe it is as far as trying to stay far away from other people's proximity. So we talked to the police here, and they said that for the foreseeable future, or at least for now, it is okay that we stay here. So we've chosen to stay here. We've talked to a group of other people that we've been chatting with on WhatsApp. There's a WhatsApp group where some of us are communicating that we're deciding to stay here for at least the next day or two, just to see how things go. Because 3 days from now, it will be a week from this border closure. And if there's any chance at all that this border is going to open, based on that initial 1 week estimate, we'll find out. And if that doesn't happen, I think Tanger Med is always going to be an option. And if something does happen in Tanger Med, for example, if either the French government or the German government is able to get ferries to come over to the port to pick people up, to drive them back to Europe, we're only 12 miles away. So we can drive over there. And I assume that if they're going to send ferries, they'll send enough ferries to take everybody. So that's our current plan right now. And I want to thank all the people that have reached out to us. And we're actually physically we're doing really good. It's a little stressful mentally because of all the stuff that's happening. And it's kind of hard for us to focus. It's kind of hard for us to, just kind of relax because we're constantly trying to find out more information about the situation. So, that's probably the number one most taxing thing right now. But I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for your concern. We're doing good. We're here. And I will update you guys with more information as I know more. Thanks, and take care of yourselves. So it appears things have changed in the last 3 hours since we talked to other people here about the situation. There was somebody who spoke pretty good French, and they spoke to the police about 3 hours ago, and they said, it's your choice. You can go to Tanger Med, or you can stay here. We don't care. If you want to stay here, that's fine with us. But just like 10 minutes ago, another police knocked on our door, or actually tapped on our hood, and they said, you have to go to Tanger Med. So I think they went to every car and asked them to leave. I don't know if it was a choice that people have or not, but there are still cars behind us that are not leaving, which I don't know what's happening. But it didn't seem like we were given a choice, so I think we're gonna move to Tanger Med, or I guess I feel like we have to. And I think if the police decides to clear out of here, there may be a situation with safety as well. Last night we had somebody come by our car, knocked on a door, and begged for money. We didn't know it was an older woman, but she said she had babies to feed in French and wanted us to give her money. It was very sketchy. It was not a good situation. So if the police are not here, I feel like it's not safe to be here. So we probably will leave if that is the case, because they probably don't want to have to be involved with policing this area if there's only a few vans here. And that's kind of what it came down to. So many vans left to go to Tanger Med that they just want to clear this area up. So that's where we're headed. We'll see how it goes there. Okay, we're on the move. We have to drive 12 miles to Tanger Med, go to the port and see what the situation looks like. Last time we drove through here in the dark, and it's actually quite a beautiful drive over these mountains to get over from Tanger Med to the Mediterranean side. But unfortunately, this is not the time to stop and enjoy the scenery. We got to keep moving so we can get into the other spot. We don't know what is happening because there were probably about a dozen other vans and campers still there. I don't know if they're not required to move or if they have some other reason for staying, or maybe they just refuse. I don't know. But as far as we understand, we weren't given a choice. And part of me feels like, okay, if we're gonna go over here, we're just gonna settle for a while. And if we're gonna settle for a while, we're gonna, just be comfortable. So on the way to there, we did a quick stop. We saw a store that was open. We got 6 things of water, 5 liters, so 30 liters of water, drinking water. So we're good. And some tortillas. So hopefully we can just settle there for a while, and like a bunch of eggs. We're past another police checkpoint. They are checking everybody, but I think they're just letting travelers and caravans through because they know the order. The order is we're being transferred over to Tanger Med. So Tanger Med is the Moroccan port. So at this point, since the port in Ceuta, the Spanish port in Ceuta, is not allowing us in for the foreseeable future, maybe our best bet is to go to this Moroccan port. And if we can organize a ferry from somewhere besides Spain, then we may have a shot at this still.